We are here and we're going to talk about creativity. Creativity is very interesting when you talk about the workplace. It makes good days even better, and there's bad days much better. We have Anthony Gutierrez, senior recruiter at Blitzer Sports Entertainment. We're going to pass it off to him to talk about creativity.
Thank you. You made a perfect point when you said that creativity does kind of make those bad days even better, and good days excellent. And I think it's also a good way for you to really separate yourself from other people in your job. I think, especially in my career, being a recruiter, one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on is being able to kind of be a master sleuth of ways and finding the proper candidates through not conventional channels. It's not always the people that apply directly to the jobs. We also have to source ourselves. So being creative in ways that we find those people it's really important for me, especially. Networking events are really important. I also have a background in graphic design, so I do a lot of unique graphics that I post on LinkedIn every week just to pull those people in, because some people are visual, and once you get to see, what being part of an organization is like, it makes you more prone to really come in and experience that culture and want to apply for those positions. And sometimes it's about going in the back way of finding those resumes. Sometimes you have to, ask other people who they know or what they know. And figuring out ways to do your job, whether it be, running a report or doing some mundane task that is outside of the ordinary. And I think a lot of people, when you're going into these positions, especially entry-level jobs, everyone starts at these levels. They start, at the entry-level position, and you do whatever it is you can to kind of move up. And I think one thing that sets people apart, and one thing for me that kind of makes people stand out to me as candidates when I speak to them, are finding out unconventional ways to get things accomplished. So whether that's, finding an unconventional method to do something, whether it's doing something new as far as, running a report a different way that maybe you haven't thought about doing before, or just being creative in the way that you present something to a mass. Your sales strategy, if you're working in ticket sales, reaching out to people and finding a unique way to connect with those people in order to sell those tickets are really important. And it doesn't always have to be some of this new wave, new Instagram filter, Snapchat, whatever it is that kind of we think of when we think of creativity. It's more along the lines of finding something that hasn't been done before that may not be new to you, but it could be new to somebody else. There have been plenty of times where I've brought a technique that I've used with another company to a newer company that I've worked for, and they've thought it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened to them, but I've been doing it like that for a long period of time. But it really goes back to just being able to think of ways that you can enhance what you're doing for a company, or what you can do on your resume or at an internship to set yourself apart. It may be something that you've always done over the course of your life, but it may be something that this company has never thought of before. And just bringing that to the table is already kind of proving a value for yourself, just as an associate, whether it be full-time position or an intern for the organization.
Right, so here's an interesting question, both for you, working, mm-hmm. and then for you hiring and dealing with people on the HR level, let's call it that. A lot of people might say, I don't want to be creative because, sometimes with creativity, it goes bad, mm-hmm. or the negative happens, right? And they don't want to put their best foot forward knowing that something could backfire, or that they take a risk and make someone else look better. Mm-hmm. How do you get buy-in? How do you get the trust and build that loyalty to allow yourself to be creative?
I always say first learn to read the room. Know who your audience is and know who your stakeholders are. Know when you have the liberty to do it. I will admit I am a do first and ask for forgiveness later type of person, and sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. But over the course of my career, I've learned to read the room and talk, to the people that I'm working with to see whether or not they're going to be okay with me just kind of jumping in and taking a risk. Now, gaining buy-in, you can always sit down and have a conversation with someone and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this, but you need to be able to present why you're looking to do it, what you think is going to happen, and why you think it's going to produce some kind of result. You can say, hey, listen, I'm thinking of creating a new approach, or kind of altering the script a little bit when we call candidates, to gain additional buy-in, and this is the reason why I think we should do it, and this is the result I'm hoping to get out of it. You can't come to the table with just something new for the sake of doing something new. Right. You want to be able to come to it and say, hey, listen, I want to try something new, and this is the reason why I want to do it, and this is what I'm hoping to get out of it. And that's where you gain more of the buy-in. You have to be able to have more of a convincing voice when you speak to somebody, and a conviction that really supports what you're doing. You're not just flying by the seat of your pants for the
Right.
sake of doing something different because you don't like it.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, right? You have a little bit of background in graphic design.
Right.
So you come to it and say, hey, I'm trying to achieve this result.
Right.
My background in graphic design actually helps me.
Right.
So I think for these students, one of the things they can take away is look at your past experiences, look at your past strengths. Maybe you were a student athlete, maybe you're a really good writer.
Right.
And you're going to try these different things. And like you said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can kind of dip into the old archives.
Right.
And you can, ask people in your industry. I think all that kind of stuff helps in being creative. So I think the last question I have for you, a real quick one, is how do you create that space to be creative?
I think for me, you have to always get your job done. You have to meet your objectives. You have to be able to make sure that you're doing all of your work. And as long as you're getting your work done, it's easier for you to find those pockets to be creative. So there are certain things in the workday that I always try to do to be creative. Of course, like I'm very active on LinkedIn. I post a lot of open positions that we have. And I don't always just want to write a blurb or attach like a link to a job description that we have. And usually, I guess this goes back to kind of to do first, ask for forgiveness later. I know that our company is very big on maintaining the brands and the integrity of the brands of our teams. So I actually went to our creative department and asked our graphic designers versus doing it myself, I want to do something online. I want to get this accomplished. Can you do this for me? They were able to put together graphics for me. I have like a whole Rolodex of graphics that I can use and put that out to the masses. So, I'm still getting my job done. I'm not, wasting my time doing these graphics all of the time. And I still am able to be creative because I was able to go and find people to kind of make that avenue for me. Right. So it's about figuring out a way to get your job done while still finding a way to be creative. And sometimes that's, I'm going to be able to sell this ticket. I'm going to be able to set up this game day experience. I'm going to be able to push this marketing partnership. But I can find a way to do it a little bit differently or maybe tweak the process so I'm not running the cookie cutter mill that everyone else would probably be doing.
That's a great way to end. I'm not even going to say too much. But what I will say is that you guys can take this into your job 3, 6, 12 months into your job. It'll be much more pleasurable in terms of the results you're getting, but then also how you feel about the energy.
It sets you apart. It sets you apart really from other people if you're able to be creative and do something different, but still maintain results.
So take that, and thank you very much.
Thank you.